What's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Full Circle. I'm your host, as always, Harmon Jr. Please find me at Harmon Jr. on all your favorite social media websites, except Reddit, because like you, my account got locked and like something happened, so now I'm in that predicament too. So maybe I'll get it back. Well, actually, my Reddit name wasn't Harmon Jr., so you know what? I'll just make a new one and make it that. There, problem solved.
I've just resolved we're just going to make it so famous that eventually they're going to recognize that they will unlock my account for me, right? Because if Elon Musk wanted to arbitrarily have an account and the Elon Musk handle is already taken, you know they would make it for him. Anywho, who am I to rant about this, who's not famous yet? Jared Fradette, and you can find me at ToonVelo. We have an exciting episode for you today. We're going to be covering 3 of our individual favorites, inventions, things from CES. From CES. The Consumer Electronics Show.
Yeah. We'll also be talking about Doctor Who. I know someone's excited about that.
Me.
You know, the new season is back, and we got the return of a new Masterclass character. Who is it? Yeah, that's heavy hint.
But first and foremost, in case you didn't know, Nintendo had a Pokemon Direct this past Thursday, and in case you still didn't know, we're big fans.
Yeah, very big fans. So, the Pokemon Direct opened up with the remake of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which is a roguelike Pokemon game. And I never played it, but everyone who's played it loves it, apparently. It's kind of like the Pokemon Ranger series where, like, if you played it, you loved it. If you didn't, well, you just have no opinion.
Yeah.
Which, I can't say the... Which, if you didn't play something, didn't have an opinion, I wish that something expanded to Sword and Shield. But the Direct was surprisingly 80% about Sword and Shield. People were expecting, like, Pokemon spin-offs, Pokemon Home, Pokemon Sleep, stuff like that. No. We got, for the first time in Pokemon history, an expansion.
That's right.
We're not getting a third game. We're getting an expansion in the form of...
We're not getting a third game. We're not getting a sequel. We're expanding the game.
Yes, we're getting the Isle of Armor, which, there it is. It wasn't gun, it wasn't arrow, it wasn't staff, it was armor. Sword, shield, and armor.
Right.
I wonder if we're going to get an armor legendary. Like, because, even the little symbol of...
Sort of. I mean, that is you do get a legendary.
Yeah, there are 2 new legendaries announced.
Right.
Other place, we would get a dog armor legendary. Well, I guess the shield is kind of like armor in its own right.
Right? I don't know.
Anyway, so we're getting the Owl Armor in Expansion 1, and we're getting the Crown Tundra in Expansion 2, which, one, I like because they're keeping up the UK and royal theme with the crown and armor. And they're going to be massive. Both of these expansions will include a wild area. And they said it will be bigger than the previous wild area, which honestly
is crazy.
Yeah, which honestly is already pretty expansive. So a wild area is even bigger than that. On top of that, we're getting 200 Pokemon that were previously not in the Galar Dex added into the game, bringing the total count up to
600.
600. Well, I guess because we're also getting new Galar Pokemon, so...
Right, so once again, we don't know the exact ratio of old Mon to new Mon, but...
So, based off what we know, if we already have 400 and we're getting 200, and that's not included because Mew was already in the game, along with... Yeah, so it's going to be plus 600, maybe like 610, 615. I don't see it being like any like 650, but I'm assuming, I don't know. We're going to have plus 600 Pokemon, bringing in the total count of available Pokemon in Sword and Shield to over half of all known Pokemon.
It's true. It's pretty good.
So, I like to go start before we get into the details of the Direct. Everyone who was complaining about Sword and Shield, it was this and that, you can go suck it. I'm just going to put it like
Short
that.
and sweet. In some.
And no, let me quell this argument. This was not a response to the backlash because, Jared, as you know, you can't just program all these things in.
So let's give our listeners some background here. So, again, there is controversy and backlash about Sword and Shield to begin with, and now that this expansion pack has come out, it has resurfaced again, where people are claiming that, oh, they only made DLC because we complained. They lost money because I personally didn't buy the pack. First of all, they didn't lose any money.
It set records, so...
Nobody cares, Karen, that you spend $100 a week at this grocery store. The huge chain does not care about you individually. So this is just something they were planning from the get-go. So,
yes.
So now this is sort of our response again to those people's high mighty self-importance and privilege.
Yeah, and you're getting both expansion packs for $29.99, aka $30, which is half the price of another game.
It's true.
And that's what we've had to do in the future. Like, people may pretend like, but, Crystal version, Platinum version, Black and White 2, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon were all full price games, despite being basically expansions of the original, especially Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Like, most of the third games are usually like a grander adventure. That was really like a...
Hey, start again with a different set of Pokemon. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, we can even look at the math for this. So, you instead of having to pay another $60 for a sequel game that would be a repeat and kind of dull, you're only paying $30. But additionally, let's compare this to other games, right? So like Super Smash Brothers, the DLC for that, where it's like, oh man, we got $60, we got all the characters ever. Okay, so, and then the DLC is $25
for 5 fighters.
For 5 fighters. So that comes out to $5 per fighter. This new expansion, we're getting more Pokemon. It came out to, I think that'd be 30 divided by an additional 200. So I think that math is about 15 cents per new unit character.
And so people,
bang for your buck.
I seen this argument with like, well, those fighters came with stages, cosmetics, blah blah blah. I'm like, well, the expansion
this also comes with stages and cosmetic changes. Yeah. That's right. We're finally getting more
clothing options. I mean, I'm pretty sure the female characters will still win greatly by their choice,
as they always do. But additionally, you're saying like, see, they're charging nickel and diamonds. First of all, again, this isn't new or unique to any game. Period. Again, see what we were talking about, sequels, but Nintendo, in their nicety, you don't even have to buy the expansions to get the Pokemon.
Yes, once you get Pokemon Home, you purchase it, which is going live next month. They announced it, yay. Any of the Pokemon that are now included in the Galar Dex, plus the 200 Pokemon that are allowed, if you have them at home, you can transfer to them in game. And if someone gets the expansion and you need one to get the new Galar Pokemon, like the new legendaries, the new fighting type, which I kind of like, and the new legendaries, you can trade with those people to get those Pokemon without actually having the expansion.
It's true.
So theoretically, the only thing you'll be missing out is the adventure, but you won't be missing out on any of the Pokemon.
All you have to do is pay the high cost of having friends. Is that a bar some of you can cross? Right. I don't know. You can play online.
So those are the details. So starting with the Isle of Armor, which I really like that name. So I like the story. You're going to meet Mustard, who is like this old champion in Galar, and who's like, a hardcore trainer who trained champion Leon. So you're going to meet him, get some of that backstory, and you're going to meet a host of new characters in this Isle of Armor, get a new rival. And I just like that expansion of the story of just like, we're not going to a faraway land that's distant from Galar. Like, no, this is still within...
It's off the coast.
Yeah,
this is where we get our second legendary that's capable of evolving. Right, so you get Kubfu from Mustard, and it can evolve into Urshifu in either the single strike or rapid strike form, dark and water fighting, respectively.
I think that's very cool, like, because that's very water and fighting, and I don't think we...
As a rapid fan of Demon Slayer,
yes,
Odell loves water style fighting.
Yes, I was getting to that. I really do.
Third form, second form, whirlwind form.
And I think it's cool because since like these are actually areas we miss. If we're looking at the UK as a whole, we get in the summer islands, and we're getting the frozen tundra part, which would be like we're moving. Because we didn't really get a snow area together. We got one, but it felt like really, I'm not going to say tacked on. It was just kind of like, here's the snow area, and here's the snow area at the very end before you reached it. But now we're like, oh, this is the tundra. This is, the northern part. And culturally, they're still keeping up the UK facade. I mean, not facade, but...
Theme,
there we go. And so I'm just really looking forward to it. And we're bringing back all the legendaries, which... There we go. So...
No, that's my opinion on that.
So I really hope, and I saw a solution to this for competitive battling. They're like, only for competitive VGC, you only have the Galar decks that 1 through 400 are, viable. And I'm like, yes, if we do that.
Well, these would still be in the Galar decks, as they did not announce a national deck still.
I suppose. Basically, I just want them to come out with a universal, no legendaries, no exceptions.
It just
there we go.
Clean and simple.
We have Pokemon like Volcarona and Garchomp and stuff come back. They're plenty powerful of their own right. You don't need Tapus and Landorus.
Unless, Odell, they're going to completely retool the legendaries.
Okay.
Okay then. Sure.
Okay, because, first of all, we all know like the Mewtwo's and the Kyogre, Groudon. Those are always usually banned anyway. Yeah. So we're talking about like the trio.
Landorus.
So the trios, okay, Tapus and Genies, honestly, I feel like they just need a universal ban. Because if you don't...
They're just terrible.
Unless they retool them heavily to where they're just like basically on like a Garchomp level. Because they're just so... The only way to counter them... I wonder if Ultra... You know what? I wonder if Ultra Beasts including that. I didn't see them in the pictures of legendaries.
No, because they're not legendaries. And to be fair, we still didn't see them. They still might come. But hopefully not.
Yeah, so... and then there's an update. You can now catch the Galarian Slowpoke, which looks like a Slowpoke with a yellow tail and a yellow head. But the Slowbro and Slowking, which they crossed out, might be cool. Right. And before we finish this, I must say, I'm looking forward to new Gigantamax of the original starters. I think Venusaur looks cool. Blastoise looks like I don't know what's going on there. But the Galatian starters, I think, look amazing. Like, I saw Cinderace. And I was like, yes, I need this Gigantamax form in my life. And I like Rillaboom was predictable.
Right.
And then
bigger, larger sets.
Yeah, and I really enjoying this I like Super
Sniper
Spice
from Inteleon.
Yeah. So anything that you liked from what you saw, just not from just personal.
I kept seeing that. I tried to remember it the entire time, and up until this point, your bird, the fire bird, is back.
Oh, Talonflame.
Talonflame, there we go.
Oh, I hope they unnerf Gale Wings. Talonflame did not need a nerf. Out of all the Pokemon that could have been nerfed in the entirety of Pokemon, I was like, why did Talonflame get punished? Who on the development team was like destroyed by a Talonflame? This feels personal.
Right. I just wanted to wrap up by saying the legendary from Crown of Tundra will be Calyrex, a psychic grass Pokemon. We get a lot of psychic grass Pokemon.
I really thought it was going to be grass ice. It just looked like his design really heavily reflects the grass ice.
Psychic, something ice themed for the Crown. And then,
I do like his design, though. I really do.
And then we are getting new legendaries in Reggie Thunder and Reggie Dragon. One's clearly electric. The other kind of looks like a dragon with the
and we're getting Galarian, Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno. Like, I'm assuming they are.
The Galarian form?
Yeah, they could be new Pokemon in general, but the fact that they're clearly based off of them.
Follow that theme.
Yeah, I like Articunos a lot. I like Moltres a lot. I look at Zapdos and like you're a Roadrunner.
Right? Have the little claw things. But we're just going to have to continue seeing on if you can be a master of Pokemon. Speaking of the master, he's back! And he is a he this time, in this iteration. He is played by Sasha Dalban, a first person of color as a main character in Doctor Who.
Woo!
That's right. So we're right on track to have Idris Elba as the Doctor in the coming seasons.
Oh, man. That would be like just a...
Yeah. Yeah, then Odell will start watching. Did you watch these last 2 episodes?
I watched half of the first one because it recorded, and then I was watching it, and then like my roommate was like, "Oh, football game's on" or something. And I was just like, "Oh, okay."
That's a terrible choice.
I
But okay, so what did you think about what you saw compared to when you saw Whitaker's first season?
Okay, so now, I get it that it was part of like the regeneration thing, but then I saw like a couple episodes after that.
Mm-hmm.
And she feels less spastic, and I like that. Granted, the Doctor might just be spastic as a character.
They are.
So I get that like that may be coming from a lack of understanding of the character, but it's a little less spastic and a little more like intuitiveness, and I prefer that.
What about terms of like pacing and plot?
50 times better, because not only was the Doctor spastic, the story was also like, we're doing a thing, we're here, like we're fighting a guy, and this guy's a time traveler. Now we're traveling back in time. Now it's like a thing about desegregation in America, and it's like this, and it's like, but the main point was like this evil dude who somehow had this convoluted plot to like make America worse and somehow make
Yeah, so that was a lot of just feelings and words. But okay, so I think, that's the general consensus for this new season is that the writing has been completely redone. It feels a lot more like classic New Who. There's action, there's a driving point to what we're doing, and it's overall much better. We don't want to like get ahead of ourselves, but this first episode, I think, overall is better than the entire last season. Some complaints I heard was that it was cheesy. all Doctor Who is fairly cheesy. Like, if you
Okay.
don't think it's cheesy...
I understood that. Like, the cheese in that was like a clear, like, we're being this.
Yeah.
Like...
I mean, even the name, Spyfall, is clearly just on the nose for Skyfall. On the nose. Yeah, so... But part of the plot that's brought up... So, in the last season... So, this is now my conspiracy theory... Not conspiracy, but theory, right? So, in the last season, episode 2, Whittaker was called by one of the monsters the Timeless Child. And we go, oh, what's that? Is that going to be our overarching plot for this season? And it wasn't, because the last season, again, was terrible. But the Master brings that up again, this time to the Doctor. And so, saying that everything that they know was a lie. Just absolutely everything. And that's why he went and, like, raised Gallifrey and... started this whole season, and the Doctor went and saw the terrible things. So what could he mean by the Timeless Child? And so there's long been a theory that the Doctor and the Master played a larger part in the role of the formation of Gallifrey. Okay, so I'm telling you...
All right, yeah, just hit it with
so here we go.
Listening.
So, there were 6 founders, but there are 3 in general. There was Omega, who we found in an alternate backwards antimatter universe. The other, who was assumed to have been a weird past incarnation of the Doctor that we haven't really proved. This has been a theory that's pervasive. And, of course, Rassilon, who everybody recognizes as the Throne of Rassilon, the Tomb of Rassilon, the Glove of Rassilon, the Harp of Rassilon. He is Lord President and a huge corrupt person, and they resurrect him again and again and again to be the Lord President of society because, I don't know, they have nothing better to do than be manipulated by a crazy person.
Man.
So, again, this has always just been theories, but this looks like we might be heading in the direction of confirming that the Master and the Doctor were actually part of the 6 people who founded Time Lord Society. And, unlocked time travel and the time vortex for all of Gallifrey. And this is like really hitting out like the origin.
So we're getting some deep, heavy stuff. This is like rewarding long-term fans and all that good stuff,
yes.
Which I always enjoy.
And so a big supporting piece of evidence for why the Doctor and the Master might have more incarnations, right? So, like I said, we're on Whittaker's the 13th Doctor. Asterisk, again, the counting is slightly off, and we covered that way back when. But way back in the 4th Doctor's era, there was an episode called The Brain of Morbius, where he was having a mind battle with a little brain, the brain of Morbius. And this is just fun facts for deep fans. This was on a Karn, right? Sisterhood of Karn, Holders of the Sacred Flame. I'm looking at people out there who may or may not know who this is. Anywho, the point being, so in this mind battle, we see it go backwards, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we see like 12 more people come up in the Doctor's mind. And so lots of fans like to dismiss this episode. It's like, oh, it was just a joke. It was just things that were happening. He was imagining it. But no, the directors and cast at the time said they meant for this to be further past incarnations of the Doctor. And so people are like, no, but the Doctor says he was the first Doctor. Again, all Time Lords choose their title. So where we have the asterisk for the Doctor is in between 8 and 9, right? Where John Hurt played a version of the Doctor, but didn't call himself that. So whoever these people were before the first Doctor might not have called themselves the Doctor. And, again, we've seen the Master and, like I said, Rassilon and the Doctor are granted new regeneration cycles by the Time Lord Society and are perpetually resurrected. So this is a lot of talking again. So I think we're really going to kind of get more solid, or at least heavier influences, facts that they are one of the 6 founders, probably the other. And of course, the Master, going crazy and angry in war, is upset that he was once again manipulated and created for this purpose.
No, I mean, I like the concept just of one. We'll get a typical Master Doctor interaction. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure ultimately it's gonna be there's such as it's like Legend of Zelda. Who's gonna be the bad guy. Who's gonna be the hero. We know where this story is going.
Right.
We know where it's going to end up, but now it's kind of like Breath of the Wild. The in-between stuff is now heavily changed. And despite it always ending with the same 3 characters, this is going to end with, hey, this might actually end with 3 characters being the founders. But,
I'm nodding. I don't think your metaphor really holds up specifically for the Doctor Who scenario, but I like your thinking.
All right. Well, my point is that it's cool enough to where people like me, I don't need to know like the 30, 20, 50 year history. I don't know.
Right? Because we'll be discovering it together.
And I feel like there's certain tics, like this is just media in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the corniness, the goofiness, the spassiness. Like there's certain tics you have to hit for a certain show to feel like a show. But a lot of those things were limitations of just the times. And there's no reason we can't make something better. And still hold its identity.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah. But then, you have like Batman versus Superman, and it's just like, I don't know what this is.
No, I have no idea. Speaking of, I don't know what this is, what about all them inventions from CES?
So, in case you didn't know, like we said earlier in the show, the Consumer Electronics Show happened this past weekend, and wonderful, fabulous Las Vegas. Also, if you're wondering why we never go to that show, it's because during the week. Like, just
during the week. After New Year's Eve, where you've already been off for 2 weeks, and you're like, what on earth is life anymore?
Yeah, and it's not even like during the week, I can show up like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe it's like, no, like midweek.
Yeah.
You gotta be here. So, we weren't there. Maybe next year. But, they show some awesome cool...
We won't be. No.
You just have to say it verbally for the people not watching.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So a lot of cool things were announced, like the PS5 logo, in case you didn't know.
No, okay. I mean, granted, it's perfectly memeable and it's hilarious. In the internet acted predictably, but I mean, reality, we all knew what the PS5 logo was going to look like. We knew it was going to look like. I mean, I bet I can predict 6, 7, 8, and 9 as well. When we get to 10, I don't know. Maybe they'll change it up by then.
I don't know. I feel like they might legit just go PSX.
That's encroaching on Xbox territory.
Ooh, you're
PSXXS1.
Ooh,
first
okay.
Prime Vita.
All right, I'm going to literally pause this conversation.
Okay.
Go into something that happened in my life that has nothing to do with this show.
Okay.
Since we're talking about X. So I had to go to a courthouse, right?
Uh-huh.
And they were like, okay, you got to go to court 4.
Okay.
And all the courts were in Roman numerals.
Okay.
IV.
Uh-huh.
If you don't know, IV means 4.
Mm-hmm.
They had to cross it out IV on like the paper and write 4 above it because people could not find it. And I was just like,
that's
people.
Hilarious.
People. Literally, they were like, oh, you're looking for court 4? Oh, the IV. I'm like, I know what that is. That's the number 4 in Roman numerals.
So we'll come full circle to when you were talking about how you made the poor choice to watch football instead of Doctor Who. Right, I'm like, okay, Roman numerals are prevalent in society. Every Super Bowl is listed as Super Bowl Roman numerals.
Well, I guess.
What did they think that is?
I don't know. I guess we're at the Super Bowl like LX, so like I don't know. They're probably just like, ooh, L.
Are we on 60?
We are. There's L in them. It might not be 60, but it's like definitely L has started to be in the title,
which is 50.
Yeah. So we might be like in like 50 something, or it might be L. I don't know. The point is, I don't know. I know L has started.
And I'm just saying, it's common in society, something that a big majority of people always like fanatically obsessed with.
I feel like everyone should know 1 through 10.
Right.
You should know 1 through 10.
It's a pretty. There are clocks usually.
Like I get it. If people are like XL, XI, VII, I'm like, okay, yeah, that might. At that point, it is cumbersome. Use Roman Greco.
Yeah.
Is that what our number is?
That's a style.
Yeah. Okay. But no, I'm like 4.
Except for the 0. That's Arabic/Indian, Middle Eastern.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted, because I said X, it reminded me of that. They're like, I was just like, oh my god, society. I'm like, process of elimination. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. There's only 4 fucking courts, Jared. That's the thing. There's only 4. Like, even.
Okay.
All right. We're back on top. CES.
So, do you have 3 things that you personally liked?
Okay, so I like the Charmin robot that brings you toilet paper. It's not impressive in the sense because, I mean, it's just a little bear-looking robot, like has a little cute little bear face, like in a diamond, and you put toilet paper and it brings it to you. But I'm imagining after you showed it to me, that's like, okay, no, this thing will go and get you toilet paper when you need it by any means necessary. Like, it will leave your house, it will go to the store, it will break a window in your neighbor's house.
Give us the toilet paper. My human needs it.
Yeah, so it itself is not impressive, but if it literally goes to any lengths to get you toilet paper, because, I mean, if you're out of toilet paper, chances are you're just out of toilet paper, period, in your house when you need it.
It's true.
And also, I'm just like, even if it's not like, because I'm just like, your toilet paper is usually like high up in somewhere, and it's like a little robot.
Right.
So I like that because it's cutesy, and also my imagination took hold, and like, this is gonna like,
I'll jump in.
It's gonna be Skynet.
I'll jump in and say one of mine was the Samsung Bali. It's the exact same thing. Tiny little robot. It looks like One from Infinity Train. It rolls around, follows you. You give it commands like Alexa. It's basically Alexa that follows you around, but it's cute. It's like yay big.
Yeah, I know speaking of Infinity Train, I know we said we were going to talk about this on the show, but once I figured Mirror Tulip was the main character and like the main protagonist somehow,
we can cover that later.
All right.
So, do you have more?
Oh, so I think it was Lexus. There's a new smart car.
Yeah.
And I know it's but I just find all the smart cars impressive because like they do all the things that you feel like a car should do in 2020. Like this one was like full Knight Rider mode. Like, hello, Rider, where'd you like it was that was like one of his main features, and I was just like, I want this. Okay. And one of they did the whole like it can do like, all right, so let's say you want to do like self drive mode, it can do like front passenger seats, turn them around, and like become like one of. Granted, I'm pretty sure this wouldn't be on the road for like another decade, if even. But
right,
I just find those things cool. Like I kind of just wanted to just be like, I wanted to do shit that I shouldn't even be doing. Like just for like, hey, look, I can do this. Would you ever do this on the road? Probably not, but look, I have it in it, and it can.
Right. So one of mine is the Segway S-Pod. It's a new kind of wheelchair actually. I think it just looks so much more functional than a regular wheelchair. It's more compact. It's balancing. It's controlled by joysticks.
Wait, it is a wheelchair, or is it just a chair that anyone can buy to just roll around in?
I mean, it's a chair anybody can sit in, but it has a joystick, and I think it would make a really good wheelchair for accessibility around the city. It's not the huge kind of clunky ones that we have now, or even the normal like. It's a much more compact model. It's
just more viable and usable.
Exactly.
I understand. Like you don't have like your dog and like your whole life, and you're just like going like 2 miles an hour.
Which from the Expo, which seems to revel in excessively pointless electronics, this seems to be practical.
So this is gonna sound weird, but like they had like a big headphone showing for like gaming headsets and other things. And, like, I can't say this was just the innovation I saw. And it was all things where it was like, why have we not done this before? Like cords, like retractable cords that you can make any length. And I was just like...
Much better.
I was like, this has to exist, right? Oh, nope. Okay, no, we've never had just a cord that can, like, oh, I need it to be here. I need this much, like... this is ridiculously too long. I was like...
Let's put up the cord.
I was just like, why hasn't this already existed? Another cool headphone I saw had so I don't know what to call it. I'm gonna call okay. When Star Wars had like their helmets have like the things that come down,
yeah,
and you could talk like they had like microphone instead of it had microphone sensors around your face.
That's pretty cool.
I thought that was cool. So headphone innovation that should have just already existed.
Okay. I'll just throw mine out real quick because then we're running out of time. It's Tokyo's Woven City. It's basically just an experimental prototype city of tomorrow. I'm a sucker for those. EPCOT was the acronym there, which is what it stands for. And so I'm just a sucker for, can a city of tomorrow ever practically work? But
what's special about the Woven City real quick?
Well, we won't have time.
Oh,
we literally won't have time.
Okay.
It's just a city of tomorrow. So for Full Circle, I am Jerry Fradette. You can find me at Toon Balo.
And I am Odo Harmon Jr. Please find me at Odo Harmon Jr. As always, thank you for watching. Patreons, we love y'all. Support. You should get your name here. Have a great week, everybody.